Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today with 3 ways to use bowlers at Town Hall 9. Now these bowler strategies, especially at Town Hall 9, well I guess and Town Hall 10 and 11 and even Town Hall 8 are totally taking over the game. And I love bowlers at Town Hall 9, so today we're going to really discuss 3 different ways to use them in 3 different army compositions. We're starting out here by a really nice attack here by Baby Salute from Game of Thrones clan. Shout out to them, we're actually at war with them right now in Red Elite. And this first replay is kind of where it all started with a traditional HGHB with healers, giants, healers, and bowlers. And obviously you also have the hogs in the back end. 16 hogs, a great number of hogs here. So really relying heavily on the hogs to take out the majority of these defenses. You can see obviously an area of concern is that compartment with the 4 wizard towers in it, as well as some Teslas. We just saw one kind of peek its head up there. And when you go against a base like this that has those wizard tower compartments, it's actually kind of a popular variation, and it makes for a very difficult area or a real problem area to tackle on some of these bases. So what you need to do is, Baby Salute kind of gets lucky here with the queen. Her AI kind of brought her right over to this compartment, and she's able to basically single-handedly take down that area, but otherwise you'd have to plan out ahead of time to use a heal spell on the hogs on that compartment, or to use a rage spell on the bowlers, depending on their AI. Now the thing about these attacks, especially the HGHB, is that it's really difficult to predict what direction your giants and your bowlers are going to go. That's why you have so many hogs on the back end. It really allows the attacker a lot of room to improvise the attack as it goes on. You can basically surgically trickle in these hogs in whatever direction, kind of supplementing the main force of the attack. You can see this attack was so overpowering that the attacker didn't even need that heal spell towards the end, just kind of dropped it in the middle there. Okay, now we're going to move on to the second attack here, and this is going to be an interesting attack. This is kind of where it all started. This is the very first bowler video that I ever brought you guys for Town Hall 9, and it's basically the double walk. So you have the queen walk, and then you have 3 healers devoted to the bowler walk. The bowler walk's going to start out kind of in the south, while the queen walk portion is going to kind of tackle this base towards the enemy queen and towards the western part of the base, as you can see right now. So what's going to happen here is using both the bowler walk and the queen walk is a great option because it creates a really nice funnel for the Valkyries to make their way right into the center of the base. And with 7 healers in this attack, you should have plenty that survive the first half of the attack to transition to those Valkyries if needed. That's what's going to happen in this attack here, spoiler alert, and also to help with the cleanup as well. So you see the attacker MVG waits till the queen kind of does her thing. He uses the queen ability instead of a rage spell there. I might have preferred a rage spell a little bit earlier, but either way it's going to work out just fine. You'll notice there's a 7-tile difference, or excuse me, an 8-tile difference between the enemy queen and the attacking queen. That's going to allow, you guys probably already know this, but the queen won't target any kind of troops or anything, basically, the defending queen, unless it's 7 spaces in a 7-tile radius. And this was an 8-tile radius, so he was able to keep his attacking queen a little bit separated and safe from having to engage all those defensive units and the defending queen at the same time. Now, if you draw your attention to the middle of the base here, you can see that the attacker used both of his heal spells pretty early on, keeping those Valkyries alive, and it was a very smart move. He also used a rage spell as soon as all those units got to the core of the base. Now, he's still sitting on a rage spell at this point. This rage spell could have been used to keep that queen alive and save the ability earlier on in the raid, or it could be used on the bowlers here. It kind of goes to waste. He decides to use it on the Valkyries up here in the north, trying to hopefully get those Valkyries through that wall, but they kind of die out anyway, or they don't kind of, they do die out anyway. And you can see if he'd used the rage spell right over here on the bowlers and the healers, they would have easily burned through what's left of that base. But as it is, already a very powerful, very convincing 3-star victory here for the attacker MVG. He had plenty of Valkyries and bowlers alive at the end of that raid. Now here's going to be the third army composition. It's going to be attacked here by Jacob from Red Elite. He's going to do something a little bit different here. He's going to use the no hogs in this attack. He's going to use a couple of back-end balloons, or I should say really mid-raid balloons, and as soon as he starts this queen walk, he's going to immediately transition into the golem and the 3 wizards to create that nice funnel for the bowlers in the center of the base. Now Jacob's using golems instead of giants, so it's not the same strategy as the first attack. It's kind of a more traditional go Valk attack, but he does have bowlers in the clan castle as well. Now bowlers under rage can totally devastate these Town Hall 9 bases, but you can see that Jacob doesn't even use rage spells on the bowlers here. He's just patiently uses those heal spells to keep both the bowlers and the Valkyries alive, and you'll want to note where he starts off with the Queen Walk on these attacks. This is such a basic but an elementary but still very important tip for you guys. If you want to start a Queen Walk and your plan is to have the Queen go around the base, and this is very smart, especially if there's a Lava Hound in the clan castle, because that way the Queen will stay separate from the Lava Hound. The Lava Hound will kind of travel along, doing pretty much no damage to the bowlers and the Valkyries. Obviously, they're not going to target the Lava Hound, and it's just a smart move to do. So anytime there is a Lava Hound in the clan castle, I would always recommend allowing your Queen to go around the perimeter of the base versus into the core of the base with the bowlers and the Valkyries, whatever you're using. And that kind of goes for any attack strategy. But back to this attack at hand, you can see the reason he started the Queen off in the south here is because Jacob wanted the Queen to actually be alive throughout the entire raid, and he started her off in the south because he was confident that going counterclockwise in the direction that she did would leave her clear of any major defensive liabilities, namely the Expos. You don't want the Queen to engage the Expos when she's going around the perimeter of the base, because when she has to deal with Expos and these point defenses, multiple point defenses at the same time, you're really in danger of losing your Queen and thus losing your biggest cleanup ability in the attack. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video of 3 different ways to use bowlers on Town Hall 9. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys, and as always, take care, guys.